Welcome back to The Explainer. We're jumping right into day 5 of our ongoing monetization series. We've been testing out all sorts of different ways to generate revenue lately, but today, well, we are shifting gears entirely. We're looking at how to monetize fiction through a platform called Pocket FM. It's a totally fascinating model, and I am literally so excited to break down the mechanics of it with you today.
But look, I gotta be totally upfront with you right out of the gate. Unlike our quick 24-hour tests in days 1 through 4, where we were throwing up an Etsy listing, flipping old textbooks, or getting paid to clip videos for that immediate turnaround, today's method is a whole different beast. It is a true slow build. It's a very real, legitimate income strategy, but it operates on a completely different timeline. And honestly, it is absolutely crucial to understand that before you get too excited and start expecting money on your bank account by tomorrow morning.
All right, let's get right into Section 1, how Pocket FM works and the economics behind serialized audio fiction.
So the life cycle of a story on this platform is pretty unique. You aren't just sitting down and writing a massive 500-page novel all at once to drop on day 1. Instead, you write serialized fiction. Think of it like short, bite-sized chapters, structured very much like a gripping audiobook series. Then comes the hook. The first few chapters of your story are given away entirely for free. But then, right when the listener is hooked, the later chapters get locked behind a paywall. And that's where you come in. You earn your revenue when listeners decide they just absolutely have to know what happens next, and they pay to bypass that wall.
Now, you might be wondering how that paywall actually functions. It's all based on a system of in-app coins. These coins are the digital currency that listeners spend to unlock your paywall chapters. So as a writer, you earn a percentage of the revenue every single time a listener spends those in-app coins to unlock your specific story. It is a direct correlation. You hook them with the free chapters, and if your writing is compelling enough that they actually spend their coins to keep going, you get a cut of that revenue.
Moving right along to Section 2, the invite-only reality check. Honestly, this is the part most people just completely skip over.
You really need to treat this differently than your typical online gig. Just like the quote says, this isn't a same-day side hustle. It's closer to applying for a part-time writing job. You see, Pocket FM is an invite-only program. So no, you can't just sign up, create a quick account, and start earning on day 1. It just doesn't work that way. You actually have to apply through their specific writer portal, submit your best writing, and then their team reviews it before even accepting you into the program. It requires a real, genuine commitment right out of the gate.
Which brings us to Section 3, geography and payout differences. Specifically, looking at India versus the US and Europe.
Context is so vital here, especially if you are based in the US or Europe. Pocket FM is primarily an Indian platform. That means its biggest audience, along with the bulk of its language content, is heavily concentrated right there in India. Because of that, the payout potential genuinely differs for writers based in India compared to those in other parts of the world. Now, don't get me wrong, the platform is actively expanding into the USA and Europe, but right now, a lot of that Western expansion really involves adapting their existing stories for these newer audiences.
So, what does this actually mean for you? Well, because of that geographical concentration, it is still very early days for non-Indian writers on the platform. If you're applying from the US or Europe, you're entering an emerging market for them, not their primary established base. It's an incredible opportunity to get in on the ground floor, for sure, but you really have to know the landscape you're walking into.
Okay, Section 4, playing the long game. Let's figure out if this method is actually right for you.
So, should you try this? Ask yourself a few questions. Do you genuinely enjoy writing fiction? Are you comfortable with an income stream that builds slowly? Are you looking for earnings that compound over many chapters and many months? And finally, are you okay avoiding immediate gratification? If you check those boxes, it is absolutely worth applying. I mean, submitting your writing costs you literally nothing but your time.
If you are ready to take action, the game plan is straightforward, but it demands follow-through. First, just search for Pocket FM Writer Program or Pocket Novels online. Next, create your profile in their writer portal. Then comes the make-or-break step. Submit your absolute best writing sample for their team to review. And finally, and this is super important for managing your expectations, expect to wait weeks, not days, before you hear back from them. Patience is the name of the game here.
Hey, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss out, because tomorrow is day 6, and we are going right back to a method where you can try it out and see results immediately. Because let's be real, a good overarching monetization strategy needs both kinds of methods. You need the fast wins to keep you motivated, and you need the slow, compounding methods for sustainable, long-term growth.
Before you head out to catch up on days 1 through 4, which we've linked for you, I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. Ask yourself, are you willing to trade today's fast cash for a slow-building, compounding income stream? Think about your own goals, think about your timeline, and decide if Pocket FM is your next big move. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 6.